Good, happy Sunday morning, January 17, 2021. I'm Riley King, and welcome to the Riley King Newscast, right here on the Riley King Network. We have a lot of news to get to this Sunday morning, so let's begin. First up, we're going to begin with your COVID-19 updates. New Hampshire reports 19 new COVID-19 deaths. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9.
Living in northern New England doesn't mean you have to spend the winter on your roof. Forever Metal roofs are designed to shed snow while the energy-efficient panels keep your home warm. The first half of January has brought 20% of New Hampshire's COVID-19 cases, but the PCR positivity rate is now at its lowest point since Thanksgiving. Tonight, state health officials confirming 483 new positive test results for a total of just under 56,000 cases in this pandemic. Just over 6,000 are current cases. There are 19 more deaths to report tonight. 6 of those are connected to long-term care facilities. The fatality rate is now at 2%. 87% of patients have recovered.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. And now let's take a look at your COVID-19 in New Hampshire key data, maps, and graphs. Let's take a look at that right now. And here is a look at that information for all of you right now. There are 55,945 number of people in New Hampshire have tested positive for COVID-19. 23,727,467 number of people in the United States have tested positive. 927 number of deaths from COVID-19 in New Hampshire. 252 current number of people hospitalized with COVID-19 in New Hampshire. And 372 number of deaths from COVID-19 in the United States. And now let's take a look at this map of New Hampshire where current cases of COVID-19 are. Manchester, 588. And let's take a look at this map of New Hampshire where total cases of COVID-19 are. Manchester, 7883. Let's take a look at these three charts here. Let's start with the first chart here. New cases each day. New Hampshire in the purple. Daily new positive COVID-19 cases. Orange, new hospitalization. And red, deaths. Let's take a look at this chart here. Current cases in the purple. Total current COVID-19 cases. Orange, current hospitalization. Let's take a look at this chart here. Total cases in the purple. Total positive COVID-19 cases. Orange, total hospitalization. Red, deaths. And blue, recovered. Let's take a look at this chart here. Positive PCR test rate, positive PCR and antigen test rate, and daily PCR test. Let's take a look at this chart here. Each group of cases and female and male of cases. And let's take a look at this chart here. Infections, hospitalizations, and deaths. And let's take a look at this chart here. Deaths, percent of New Hampshire population, race/ethnicity of cases, and hospitalizations. And a reminder, your common symptoms: fever, lack of smell, cough, chills, difficult breathing, nausea, vomiting, and diarrhea. How it spreads, and prevention tips. And be sure to stay with the Riley King Network for the latest of your COVID-19 information. Residents attempt to steal truck from home in Pelham, police say. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9.
Living in northern New England doesn't mean you have to spend the winter on your roof. Forever metal roofs are designed to shed snow. Tonight, 2 people face charges in Pelham, where police say the property owner detained the suspects until officers arrived. The person who called police said the suspects tried to steal a dump truck on Plower Road, nearly running him over in the process. When officers arrived, they say the suspects were in a car blocked in by the homeowner and refused to come out for several hours. Both are now charged with criminal trespassing and resisting arrest.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. New Hampshire COVID-19 survivors share experiencing battling the virus. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9, Tim Callery.
When it's time to invest in a new roof, be smart and look at more factors than just the final price. Not all roofs are the same, and not all roofers are the same.
It was a smashed bottle of vinegar that tipped off Allison Boudreau.
And everyone's like, oh my God, that stinks. And I'm like, I don't smell it. I can't smell anything. And I'm like, okay. And they're like, I think that's a symptom of COVID.
Allison was diagnosed in the early stages of the pandemic, Easter Sunday.
I went into the hospital and they had like the tent set up outside. They did do a COVID test, and then they did a chest x-ray, they did like an EKG, all of that kind of stuff, and that's where they found like the double pneumonia.
Allison also experienced a cough and difficulty breathing.
Because I couldn't walk up more than one stair without having to take a seat. I couldn't like shift in bed without having a really hard time breathing.
A similar situation for Barbara Brown, who was diagnosed in December. She spent 6 days in the hospital on oxygen.
I had pneumonia when I got to the hospital.
Oh, wow.
I never thought I had pneumonia. I thought I just had a slightly tickly, kind of irritating, frustrating cough.
Barbara also experienced a high fever, reaching 104 degrees, and extreme fatigue, which lingers today.
People shouldn't think they're immune to it either. Like, I sort of thought I'm doing everything right. You can still get it.
I had chills and horrible fatigue, a headache, like the pressure in my head and my jaw was crazy.
Shawnee McGowan says she too feels that same fatigue weeks after her diagnosis.
It affects everybody differently, so how it affects me and how it affects someone else, it really does, and you just have to believe what people are saying, believe the science out there.
And some more advice. All 3 women say, really listen to your body. If you notice anything is off, call your doctor immediately. Don't wait for more severe symptoms to arrive. Reporting live tonight, I'm Tim Callery, WMUR News 9.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Good information there. Officials investigating suspicious death in Concord. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9.
In uncertain times, it's okay to feel worried or lonely. You're not alone. Even while you're at home, we can help. Riverbend Community Mental Health. We're here for you. Take time to be kind to your mind.
We are learning more tonight about a suspicious death investigation underway in Concord. The Attorney General's office says police were called to a 4th-floor apartment at 46 Warren Street just after 11:30 this morning for reports of a disturbance. That caller then heard shots fired. Authorities found a man suffering from an apparent gunshot wound at the scene where he was pronounced dead. The AG's office says it has identified everyone involved but is asking for the public's help.
We would ask that anyone who was in the area of 46 Warren Street, specifically between the hours of 7:30 a.m. and 11:30 a.m., and who may have any information related to this incident, to please call the Concord Police Department.
An autopsy to determine the man's cause and manner of death is scheduled for tomorrow. The man's identity is being withheld until family is notified.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Washington, D.C. prepares for Biden inauguration. Let's take a listen to that video from ABC News.
We begin tonight with the nation on high alert. 4 days to the inauguration of Joe Biden and the hope of a peaceful transfer of power. But it comes after that violent siege at the Capitol. And so tonight, thousands of National Guard troops are on duty in Washington. By Wednesday, there will be 25,000 troops. 4 bridges into the city will be closed. The streets are deserted, storefronts are boarded up, much of the National Mall is closed. The FBI saying that last week's attack likely emboldened domestic extremists. And tonight, a new arrest. Media personality Tim Giannett, known as Baked Alaska, allegedly spotted on video inside the Capitol chanting, quote, "Patriots are in control." And Jenna Ryan, the Texas real estate broker who flew to D.C. in a private plane, now asking for a pardon, saying she doesn't feel guilty because she thought she was following the president. And it's not just Washington on alert tonight. At least 10 states activating the National Guard, and their capitals are boarded up. ABC's Kenneth Moten leads us off from Washington.
Tonight, the nation's capital now a fortress. Fences, checkpoints, and barricades forming a ring of steel from the White House to Capitol Hill. This bridge and 3 others connecting Virginia to D.C. shutting down starting Tuesday. 25,000 National Guard troops, many armed, flooding D.C. by Inauguration Day. Massive trucks like this stationed around this city, 5 times the number of American troops in Iraq and Afghanistan guarding D.C.
Our mission here is to protect our people and our property, and so we're going to do everything to make sure that they're successful.
A Virginia man arrested at a D.C. checkpoint with an unauthorized inauguration credential. Police say he had a loaded handgun and 500 rounds of ammunition. Tonight, the FBI on edge about the threat of improvised explosive devices on Inauguration Day and the threat to political leaders, saying the January 6th attack on the Capitol likely emboldened domestic extremists.
I don't know if anyone has raised their hand to say, we are coming, we will be there, but we are preparing as if they are.
At least 10 states activating their National Guard. Capital cities boarding up. Michigan's legislature suspending next week's session because of credible threats. Now, new chilling details about the insurrection. The Washington Post reporting 3 days before an internal Capitol Police intelligence report warned that Congress could be the target of angry Trump supporters. The FBI is investigating whether lawmakers aided pro-Trump rioters by giving building tours the day before. So far, at least 300 open investigations into riot suspects. Far-right media personality Tim Giannett, who calls himself Baked Alaska, also arrested in Texas today, allegedly spotted in video inside the Capitol chanting, "Patriots are in control." And suspect Jenna Ryan, the Texas realtor accused of taking part in the riot, now publicly asking for a pardon, telling station KTVT she was just following President Trump.
Me personally, I do not feel a sense of shame or guilt from my heart from what I was doing. I thought I was following my president. I thought I was following what we were called to do.
That defense echoed by suspect Jacob Chansley. The Arizona man allegedly left a note on Pence's desk in the Senate chamber that read, "It's only a matter of time. Justice is coming." He's also now asking for a pardon through his attorney.
He walked down Constitution Avenue and entered the Capitol. He was there at the invitation of and request of our president.
All right, Kenneth Moten joining us now from a heavily fortified checkpoint there in the nation's capital. Kenneth, we can see those military vehicles behind you. You're also learning tonight that the TSA may take urgent action on some of those involved with the attack on the Capitol.
That's right, Tom. After the Capitol riots, TSA is working with law enforcement, reviewing hundreds of names to see if anyone should be added to the no-fly list. Also, those who fly in and out of the city and at airports across this country will see stepped-up security at TSA checkpoints ahead of the inauguration. Tom?
All right, Kenneth Moten leading us off from the nation's capital tonight. Kenneth, thank you.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. And we do want to pass along a traffic alert for you. Be advised, New Hampshire traffic alert. Right lane closed on I-293 northbound at Queen City Bridge underpass due to fire activity on bridge. Please seek alternate route. Again, a traffic alert on Interstate I-293 northbound at the Queen City Bridge underpass due to a fire activity on the bridge. And that does it for this morning edition of the Riley King Newscast, right here on the Riley King Network. I hope you all have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you back here later on today for another newscast. I'll have a news report coming up in a little bit. Goodbye, everyone.